Hi, this is Don Copeland with the Compress UV printers. We're here today to show you a little bit about our Compress UV. This is our 600S. It's a 24-inch wide unit. We also have a larger unit. We'll show you a little bit later on in some videos as well. But we want to print out a couple of different items, give you an idea of how the printer prints, how fast it is, what the size is about. Today we're going to start off. I want to show you printing on some just some regular old poker chips here. These are poker chips like you would get at, I think we bought these at your friendly neighborhood Walmart, right? If you're having if you have a customer who's looking to do a casino night or something like that, or maybe you want to do promotions, they could actually use the chip to give them away, printing their logo on them, putting information on them, and whatnot. So we thought it'd be a great idea to print on. They're really relatively inexpensive. Hardly any ink goes down on them. What we've done here is just for demonstration purposes, but also to show you what you can do with the UV printers. It's all about specialty items, right? That's a lot of what UV is used for. Specialty items, which means there's not just common ways like you would with a t-shirt printer or just a regular paper printer or vinyl printer where you just kind of print and go. With this you got to hold the items because a lot of these items we're printing on are dimensional. All right? So let's say I have a job that comes up that I'm only going to need to do a short run of. I don't want to spend the money investing into a jig, have it made to hold the item down. We actually created our own jig here. I don't know if we can zoom in and see or not, but these are actually, we've actually printed multiple layers of ink to create these little cavities here that we're dropping our poker chips right into to print. All right, as you can see right here, I think we've done something like 10 layers of ink. All right, and this ink actually gives us dimension. So that brings up another factor when it comes to printing with a UV printer that's different than any other types of printers you probably dealt with, that you actually have dimension. All right, you can use a machine like this to print ADA signs for Braille. You can use it to give you some kind of relief in certain types of areas of print. I mean, oh, just look at this. What a coincidence. I happen to have right here a print. If you look closely at it, you can see the dimensions. Looks like the brush strokes of an artist here on the physical print itself. We do that in the same way that we created our jig. Multiple layers, and then we come back and print over top of it. A couple of ways we can do that. We'll get into that in some later videos. Just want to show you a bit of what we did to hold this down, because it's kind of a cool approach that you don't have to run out and find somebody with a laser cutter to make a specialty jig for you for certain items. We actually put this actual whole jig set up here. We've got poker chips set up. We have the ability to do some old snippers. Actually, one of our sister companies sells some snippers for the embroidery industry. We're going to print some of those here in a couple of minutes. And also for some promotional pins, just to give you an idea of what you can do. Obviously, if you're doing a lot, and we'll show you in another video, printing on some golf balls. We actually had a jig set up to do for this printer that will allow you to do 96 golf balls at one time. All right, so you can load up 8 dozen golf balls and print them. That being said, basics of this machine is very similar to a lot of flatbed printers on the marketplace. We have a laser light that sets our height, which we would simply just load the machine right back to here. Laser's right inside of there. Bring this up, and it's going to actually set to my proper height. All right, once I've got that done, I'm going to hit load. It's going to draw it in. And I've already loaded the design up in our RIP software we've queued up so that we can print these poker chips. When you're looking at UV printers, you have a lot of options on the marketplace today. So one of the most logical questions I get on a regular basis is, so why Compress? Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. Number one, the size of the unit itself or the print area. We have one of the larger print areas in this price range that this unit's in. 24 inches across by 18 inches deep. More significantly, to differentiate this from the crowd, we have almost a foot of depth, over 11.6 inches of depth that you can actually print on. What does that mean? It means you can put items like a football or a basketball in here, or a box that's maybe already pre-assembled, or items that are thicker. Right? A lot of the competition machines are in the area of 3 to 6 inches of depth. Big difference, being able to handle a lot of additional items in this. If you start getting into the manufacturing industry, you'll find that there are people who manufacture goods and they want to put their safety warnings and instructions and whatnot on prefabricated pieces of material. It's going to allow you to handle pieces almost a foot deep. That's huge. Right now it's laying down the color layer. Because obviously these poker chips are colored, so we put down a white underbase on these, and we're coming back and putting a color layer on. One thing you'll notice that the printer is doing right now, which is may not seem unusual to you, but for this industry it's not real common, that we're actually printing bidirectionally. That's one of the ways we pick up a lot of speed with the Compress UVs. Printers are so dialed in that we're able to print bidirectional. And in some cases, some of our competition, we're 7 to 8 times faster than our competition. And let's face it, if it's not printing bidirectionally, you're printing unidirectionally, bare minimum, double the speed. What does that mean? Twice as many pieces out in the same period of time, twice as much production in a given day, which hopefully if you're doing the rest of your job, that means twice as much money at the end of the day as well. Part of the ways we accomplish that is we actually have dual lamps on ours. They're actually a water-cooled dual lamp, which allows you to run the machine constantly. The initial testing on these lights when they were done, before they implemented on these machines, was the lights were left on continuous for 6 months without any real variation in temperature. That is huge, all right? You do not have to worry. Lights are not a consumable of these machines. See, we're about to merge here with our beautifully printed poker chips. Alrighty. And here's the fun part. You ready for this? Look at that. They're dry. There's your poker chips. And look at this, folks. Ink's dry. Hard thing to wrap your head around when you're a printer guy. The ink is completely dry when it comes off.